Hi, it's Acts of God's Captive again, episode 10, written by Abubu Precious, Ukazim Obialo. They walked up to their different hostels, keeping some distances, and immediately Oma got to her own hostel. She chatted him up and apologized again. Unax, I'm really sorry about what happened at the office. I'm sorry. Her chat read, but it didn't come online immediately until about an hour later. Unknown to him that she was actually waiting for him online on WhatsApp for them to talk, as he said. It's fine, Oma, he replied when he came online. I just want you to be careful and learn how to be quiet when you come before an elder, so you can learn from the wisdom of a wise. And besides, this is your first time of being in his office and getting to meet him one-on-one, and you didn't have to give him a wrong impression about yourself. He told her. It's not gonna happen ever again, I promise, he replied. It's fine, he said, and both of them were quiet, staring at their phones and waiting for who's going to say something next between the two of them. But after a few minutes, she had to write something, knowing he might never say anything again. Nat, can I ask you a question? She asked. Sure you can, he replied. I noticed you don't like people seeing you and I together. Why? Am I that bad or ugly? She replied. Oma, stop, he replied very fast. This has nothing to do with you being a bad person or ugly. A lot of people think we are dating despite our not being so close. And you can imagine what everyone else would start assuming if they start seeing the two of us together. It won't speak well of us as Christians and as ministers whom a lot of people are looking up to. Yes, they may be wrong in their assumption, but let's not be the reason why the world would have a negative impression about us Christians. He explained. Is dating a sin? She asked him, and he read that text over and over again. Wanted to ignore the question, but changed his mind and replied it. I never said it's a sin, did I? He replied. You didn't, but I just want to know. It's just a harmless question. She wrote back to him. Well, if you must know, it can be a sin and it can also not be a sin, depending on what the parties are doing in the relationship. He replied. How? I am confused. She asked. Alma, dating means different things to different people, and for me, it's all about intention. Dating could mean two people hanging out with no serious relationship, and it could mean that you are still testing the waters. And for me, it's not a serious relationship, especially when it involves fornication. I was brought up to learn that Christians don't do testing or trial and error. Instead, at the proper time, they are to allow God lead them into proper relationships with marriage in view. He explained from his own little understanding of what he was taught at home. Wow, I never saw it from this perspective. You see why I always call you my boss? You always have a way of teaching me things I don't know, she wrote. I've dated someone before, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I do regret my actions now. I thought it was normal, since all my friends were doing it. She added, feeling guilty about her past. Alma, your days of ignorance, God has overlooked, and you don't have to beat yourself about them anymore. That's why I don't want us to give people that wrong impression that we are dating, because they might as well think that we are doing worse things, like what some of these people who are dating does. He told her, and she understood his point. It's fine, Unax. I understand now, she told him. Alright, thanks for your understanding, and good night. He wrote then went offline, and she felt relieved. His kind explanation that evening dissolved the thought she has been nursing in her heart of dating Unemeka and halted her obsessive thinking towards him. Mary's monthly cycle came at the middle of the month. Almost at the same period, she usually see her flow, and she woke up to see the blood stain. Then she wanted to feel bad as usual for seeing her flow because she's been praying and expecting to miss her period. But she took control of her heart and refused to allow that ruin her joy. She stood there in the toilet quietly, closed her eyes, then breathed in and breathed out repeatedly until she felt better, then walked out and fixed a sanitary pad on. Unlike before, Timothy did not know that she was on her period because she didn't allow it to change her mood. She just went about her duties wearing a joyful face. About 6 hours later, she wanted to change the sanitary pad, only to realize that it's still those little drops of blood she saw some hours ago that was still on the pad. And the color was a little pinky, different from the usual dark red menstrual blood flow she normally have. Am I spotting or menstruating? She asked herself silently. Yes, I am spotting. I am not menstruating. I am pregnant, she answered loud. Thank you very much for listening and for watching and for coming online to watch this wonderful episode. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and God bless you. See you next time. Bye.